Omagyanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Hare Krishna. Today, Atma's presentation of Bhagavad-gita as it is, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, is brought from Dwaraka Dham on the west coast of this sacred land of Bharat or India. Today we're reading from chapter 14, texts 15 to 18. Rajasi pralayang gatva karma sangeshu jayate tata pralinas tamasi mudha yonishu jayate. When one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. And when one dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom. So here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada makes a very important point that many people, although they accept that we take birth again after we die, what is called in English reincarnation, they're under the impression that we must go to another human form of life. They can't imagine that we who are now in the body of a human being, could, in a future life, be in the body of an animal or a plant. But here it's very clearly stated that pralinas tamasi mudha yonishu jayate. Those who die in the mode of ignorance take mudha yoni, means in the animal species, or actually one can take birth as a plant also. The thing is that we are so much accustomed to thinking, I am this body, that we presume that even if we are to get another body, it must be a human body, but there's no guarantee. It depends on our consciousness. Yang yang vapi smaram bhavam tyajante kalevaram tam tame vaite kauntaya sadatad bhava bhavitaha. According to one's consciousness at the time of death, one gets a suitable body. So if one has developed doggish consciousness, then one gets the body of a dog. Or according to one's activities and consciousness. Just like nowadays it's considered something quite normal or acceptable for people to go naked. To show this pornography business is huge. They developed the internet for exchange of knowledge, but the main thing that is on the internet is pornography. So people who stand naked, which is actually uncivilized, the result is that they get the form of a tree. Your next birth will be that of a tree, which as a punishment you have to stand naked in the sun, the rain, the wind, the cold. So this is a result of activities in the mode of ignorance lead to birth in the mode of ignorance. The tamagun means the mode of ignorance, and birth in the plant species, the animal species, where one's consciousness is so much covered that there's no possibility of understanding any higher knowledge. That is guaranteed. So the mode of ignorance is very, very dangerous. In human life, having got this human life, one should cultivate higher knowledge, knowledge of the self, knowledge of God. One should study Bhagavad-gita as it is. That is sattva-gun. Sattvang sanjayate jnanam. The sattva-gun, sattva means, Prabhupada translated as the mode of goodness. Sattva-gun, sattva means existence. So in sattva-gun, one should cultivate knowledge of what is the nature of our existence. Otherwise, rajogun, we're simply interested in increasing our bank balance, getting more and more sensual enjoyment. And in tamagun, one is simply gross, and one has to descend into lower species. Text 16. Karamana sukritasyahu satvikam nirmalang palam rajasastu palang dukam Ajnanam tamasah phalam. The result of pious action is pure and is said to be in the mode of goodness. But action done in the mode of passion results in misery, and action performed in the mode of ignorance results in foolishness. Now, here is a crucial point to be understood. If people in modern civilization could understand this, it would make a tremendous and highly beneficial change, because the whole of modern civilization is going on according to the mode of passion and ignorance. That with the idea that we should just increase more and more sense enjoyment, and in this way we shall be happy. But the result is simply foolishness. So we can deduce from these statements of Bhagavad-gita that modern society is conducted under the modes of passion and ignorance, and very, very little of the mode of goodness, which is the actual mode of human life. Very little is there. So what's this important point we have to understand? That activities in the mode of passion result in misery. Now this is surprising, because activities in the mode of passion means those activities which are conducted for sensual pleasure. But the result of sensual pleasure is not happiness, it is misery. And that we see in the modern age, that people work very hard to get money, and then they work very hard to enjoy. I saw some advertisement in Bangalore, work hard, party harder. So in other words, you work hard all week, and then on Saturday and Sunday, you go for parties. And with the same energy that you work, you have parties, drink, take intoxication, have sex, dance. But the result is foolishness. Getting drunk is in the mode of ignorance, and the result is, after working hard all week to earn money, you glug, 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 you drink it away and pass it out as urine while you're talking all nonsense. So this mode of passion degrades into the mode of ignorance, and the result is misery. We find that in modern society, which is conducted under the lower modes of nature, people are simply miserable. They're not happy. Who's happy? I'm looking over this Dwaraka city. Of course, Dwaraka is a little different, because Dwaraka is the abode of the Lord. But you look in any city, you go door to door, house to house, and if you speak with people, you'll find that in every house, people have so many problems. Either the husband and wife are not getting on well together, or the children don't behave properly with their parents, or someone's very sick, there's some severe health problem, or there's severe financial problem, or legal problem. There's just problems everywhere. I know, I speak to so many, I travel all over the world, I speak to so many people, and we find people just have so many problems. This is a result of the modern imbalanced society in which they stress, work hard, get money, enjoy, 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 enjoy. Enjoy this, enjoy that. But no one is happy. Everyone is miserable. So actually, human life should be led in a more peaceful and calm manner. It's not necessary to work so hard to get money to live. Now in modern life, it's like that. Unless you work like an ass, or harder than an ass would tolerate, one cannot get enough money even to live at a normal level in modern society. But modern society has made life unnecessarily complex. So, life should be more in the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, one doesn't work hard just to get money to survive, but one lives simply, by God's arrangement, food, clothing, shelter, roti, kapra, makan, the basic necessities of human life are fairly easily available. It's not necessary to have big industrial enterprises to produce these things. Many of things that are produced are not necessary. Even this TV that you're watching, it's not actually necessary. Of course, we're using it to broadcast the glories of the Lord. So that's good. But to be quite frank, most of the stuff that's broadcast on TV, it doesn't help us to raise our consciousness, but it actually drags our consciousness down, down, down. So, most things are not necessary. The ideal of life is to live simply and to have high thinking in the mode of goodness. The result, what's the result of that? That's described. I'll jump one verse to text 18. Urdhvam gachanti sattvasta madhyeti shtanti rajasaha jaganya gunavritti sta adho gachanti tamasaha. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planets. Those in the mode of passion live on the earthly planets. And those in the abominable mode of ignorance go down to the hellish worlds. So those in the mode of goodness, they go up, either to the heavenly planets, if one's mode of goodness is not completely pure, or one gets liberated in the impersonal Brahman, or if one is in goodness completely unmixed by any material contamination, if one is completely pure, then one becomes eligible to enter into the abode of the Lord. This Dwaraka Dham, where we are so fortunate to be present, it is a facsimile, or actually non-different in one sense, from the abode of the Lord that is eternal, the spiritual world. So acting in the mode of goodness helps to prepare us to become completely freed from any material contamination. Even the mode of goodness can be one kind of contamination, as is discussed elsewhere in Bhagavad-gita. In other words, if one identifies with any material mode, even the mode of goodness, that is a material contamination. But when one identifies wholly and solely with Krishna, then one becomes eligible to enter the spiritual world. And if one acts in the mode of passion, then he takes birth on the earth planet. And if one is in ignorance, as most people in modern society are, even though they may be highly educated from the material point of view, but they are ignorant that there is a goal of life, not to speak of what it is. They're ignorant that we are spirit soul. They're ignorant that of our relationship with Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even they produce big newspapers with so much news and analysis, and they're highly informed, but they are not informed of the purpose of life. Therefore, they are cultivating ignorance, simply ignorance. We can say that most people in the modern age, they are simply learned fools. PhD, MSc means learned idiot. They have got so much knowledge, but they do not have the knowledge which is most essential. That knowledge which frees us from birth and death. And they're very proud of being a big learned ass. They have these special hats for university graduates. You can put the hat on a donkey, because the university degree is a certificate that they can take which gives them the eligibility to work hard like a donkey, to earn money so that they can eat and sleep and be no more knowledgeable of the actual purpose of life than a donkey or a pig or a dog. So, this knowledge of Bhagavad-gita, this is required to bring people minimally to the human platform. Without this knowledge of who is God and our relationship with Him, then we simply prepare ourselves to enter the animal species, and practically so-called civilized man is nothing more than a big animal. He doesn't have any higher thought. And therefore, although they speak of peace and goodness and kindness and compassion and humanitarianism and altruism. They're producing big bombs and bombing each other and terrorism, and the food they eat is contaminated by chemicals because they think they can improve on what God has given us. And there are so many defects in human society which all arise from ignorance of our actual purpose in life. So Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is here analyzing these three modes of material nature so that we can gradually rise above them. Verse 17, I skipped over this, let's go back. Sattvad sanjayate jnanam rajaso lobha evacha pramada moho tamaso bhavato jnanam evacha. From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, greed develops. And from the mode of ignorance, develop foolishness, madness, and illusion. Yeah, so that point I was making, that sattva gun, the mode of goodness, gives rise to real knowledge. So we can see that knowledge it's missing from the agenda of modern society. They have so many departments in the university, so many subjects to teach at school. Here in India we see little children going to school carrying huge piles of books. So many things they have to cram into their little heads. But the most important knowledge of all, we're not saying that material knowledge is wholly meaningless. As long as we're in this material world, obviously we need to cultivate some knowledge of it. But the most important knowledge that we do not belong here to this material world. We're not part of this world. We are eternal, Satchidananda, eternal, full of knowledge and bliss, spirit souls, part and parcel of Krishna. This is the meaning of Atma, that we are spirit souls. This knowledge, if we act in the mode of goodness, it gives rise to that knowledge. But instead, in modern society, what's going on? Rajaso lobha evacha. Instead of promoting the knowledge that gives rise to actual happiness, instead of promoting that knowledge, they're simply promoting greed. Advertisement means promote our greed. We don't have a desire for for some product, but they plant the desire. You require this, buy this. So in this way we become greedy. We want more and more and more. Lust or calm, material desire, when that becomes intense, that we desire so many different things, that becomes lobha, greed. This is the condition of rajagun, or the mode of passion. So this is most prominent in human society at the present time. Consumer society means to promote desire. More, better, new. You'll see on the advertisement, they're always promoting better, new. They're selling the same product. You already bought it once and you thought, well, it wasn't that good. But now they're promoting better. Oh, okay, it wasn't so good before, but now we made it better, new. It's the same damn soap powder, and it doesn't make you happy. And they promote, buy this soap powder, you'll be happy. You can eat soap powder and carry it around in bundles with you. Soap powder doesn't make you happy, but they have to make you greedy. Buy this soap powder. So they put the advertisement. So the consumer society promotes lobha and tama, ignorance. It makes you a damn fool. Fashion. Promoting fashion means to promote foolishness. And people, they're very proud. I'm wearing the latest fashion. But this fashion means a certificate that I am a damn fool number one. Because it's advertised, you should wear jeans like this. Therefore people buy it, which shows that my mind is easily influenced by the idiotic advertisement. And I want to be like every other idiot who's wearing this particular kind of jeans. So I very proudly wear jeans and this kind of t-shirt and this kind of watch and have my hair styled in this way, which just proves that I am an idiot. So, in the absence of sattva gun, or actual knowledge of the purpose of life, then lobha, greed, which is symptomatic of the mode of passion, that is promoted, and with passion comes ignorance. So modern society is dedicated to destroying all higher knowledge, just to simply promote the lower modes of nature. Even if they have religion class in school, or they say, yes, we accept all religions. But that is simply another symptom of their ignorance, that the so-called religions, they don't know, they don't have actual knowledge of who is God. They may talk of God, but they have no actual knowledge of who is God. And thus, they promote some idea of God being our order supplier. Here's my shopping list. I've got a bad back. God, you have to mend it. I don't have enough money. God, give me some more money. So we present our shopping list that God, His job is our order supplier. So our approach to God is simply based on ignorance. We don't know who He is. And therefore we say that God has no name, no form. All He's doing is providing our material desires, fulfilling our material desires. So these religions that are based on ignorance and passion, they don't give rise to sattva gun. They don't give rise to goodness. They're simply based on envy. And thus they come up with absurd propositions that eating meat is also very good. That's part of our religion. That we should eat meat, and this is all very religious. They have religious ways of killing. They're very particular. No, we cannot eat this meat. We can only eat meat from animals that have been killed in a religious way. But there's no way to slaughter animals in a way that is pleasing to God. In Scripture, that may be allowed because people are on a very low level. But that doesn't mean that it's God's desire. So let us come to the mode of goodness by understanding Bhagavad-gita as it is, and go beyond that, and go to Krishna. Hare Krishna.
The ancient wisdom that you have just heard is contained in the publications of the Bhakti-Vedanta Book Trust.